have not yet described the puppet show. Everybody seems to know the day that is coming to the village. So we went there, and they had benches laid out and a little stage. The stage had one man, the puppeteer, sitting cross-legged, and behind him was a fire, a coal fire or wood fire, I'm not sure. This fire is what casts the shadows of the puppets on the screen. So on the screen, we began to watch this extraordinary play of very intricately carved figures. The fire made the shadows very strong and depicted all manner of things: battles, lovers running away, lovers meeting, all kinds of stories, and duels and friendships and celebrations. During one of the pauses, I walked behind the stage to see the puppeteer sitting cross-legged on his stand with the fire burning very brightly. I think it was an oil fire burning from a lantern. Now the children are employed to hand the right puppet to the puppeteer whenever he needs it. They know the story. They know which puppet comes at which time. And it's remarkable to see these 3, 4, and 5 years old sitting among the puppets, which are beautifully made, handing to the puppeteer the right one for the story. The puppets are made of glue on palm leaf, I believe, and then painted, beautifully carved and decorated. The puppeteer goes from village to village with his show, and he doesn't seem to need to advertise himself. People seem to know the night that he's coming, and all the village turns out to see him. In the strange oil lamp light, to see the little children handling the puppets, choosing the right one, was very moving. And then to come back and watch the story being unfolded in the front. I didn't understand, of course, the language. I didn't understand quite what was going on, but the animation and the dramatics and the dramatization was so intense that you could almost guess at the story. It goes on for a long time. It becomes, for the European, monotonous. The Balinese can watch the same show, the same thing, for a long time. It is as if they meditated on it or dreamt around it, but they never tire as we do, get up and say, well, now it is enough. So we left the puppeteer show that night with a feeling that the preservation of these mythologies, which are contained in all the dances and in the puppeteer, are very important to the understanding of the culture. And I read more and more of Covarrubias and more of Colin McPhee's book to understand the meaning of these, and that is why they never tire of them, because for them it's like a religious ceremony. It represents some drama which they want to see acted and reenacted. The climate has an extraordinary influence on you. The softness of it slows down the rhythm to a very soft, easygoing rhythm. The softness of the air has such an effect on the skin. It's absolutely impossible to feel tension. It is just as if they had removed all your nerves, and all that was left was a body that was languid and moved at a natural rhythm. All their work is done without speed, without tension, just as a natural, almost dance-like effect. It's the caressingness, the softness, which has a silky effect on you. It is difficult to become aware of how important the climate is. We talk about it, but we don't really realize its effect on our bodies. We are a totally different body in the tropics, in this heat, in this climate which doesn't have any tension in itself, where even the rain has a kind of softness. There is no brutal sudden winds. There is certainly, above all, no change of climate as there is, say, in the city of New York. the effect of most climates in the world are disturbing, I think, to our physical body. I think our nerves, our flesh, our blood, everything responds in a different way to the atmosphere in which it is bathed. And when you are bathed in an atmosphere that is completely relaxed and completely soft and without any surprises except a few volcanoes now and then, there is a complete change almost in the personality. The things that we care about deeply, build tension about, disappear. The values change. One begins to live through the pleasure of the eyes, through the pleasure of the ears. One ceases, in a way, to think about life or to question or to comment on it. It's almost as if you were a plant and you were put in a place where it received exactly the amount of sun and water that it needs. Something is given to the Balinese body that we are deprived of, and that something is a softness and a lack of tension. And this, accompanied by their quiet faith, by their occasional concentration in delight and joy, their joy in color and in crafts, and in the beauty of the objects they surround themselves with, even the ordinary cooking utensils, is different from the rest of the world.